A country which has seen the civilized cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, a country which has survived the golden age during the time of Gupta dynasty, a country where there were well managed and well structured administration system, revenue collection system under the leadership of Sesha Suri, is now in 21st century facing the problem of poor governance, corruption, poverty and unemployment. Our great leaders managed to throw Britishers out of our nations, but they have never thought that after 75 years of independence, the world's largest democracy will continue to ask herself about her freedom. The Constitution of India provides us with the freedom and the right, along with the strong bureaucratic system. But are we really free? Yes, we are free from the forces of the Britishers, but are we free from the clutches of poverty, and narrow thinking, and unemployment? I don't think so. A country where colonial era law, sedition law is still prevalent, which once were used just against our freedom fighters, is now used for suppressing the freedom of fundamental right of freedom of speech. A country where 1% of total population holds 58% of wealth, a country where 77% of households don't have regular salaried individual, a country where over half of the population defecate in open and invites problems and diseases like diarrhea for over 60,000 children, a country where good sanitation is not present, how she can call herself free? A country whose literacy rate stands at 74.04%, a country where over 6 million children aged between 6 to 13 years have never been to school calls herself free? I don't think so. The right to education still overtly flaunted even after entering into the 7th year of implementation. How can I call my nation a free land where even celebrities have to delete their Twitter accounts because their daughters are getting the rape threats just because they spoke what was on their head? Don't we have this much of freedom? How can I call a country a free land where the democracy is brutally murdered in Kashmir? How can I celebrate the abolishment of Article 370 when someone can't marry their love just because their caste don't match? India imports 68% of bulk drugs from China. For basic medicines like kerosene, we are dependent on China. From very morning to very night, everything we use is of the mostly of the foreign companies. Why don't we produce in our own nation? Even if we do produce, why do our people don't have trust over their own national products and they think that imported products will be more good? Come on, guys, we all are so proud of our Indian army, but yet no one decides to take charge of its defense sector independently. For every upgradation in our national army, we are at we are huge debt with our foreign countries. According to Committee to Protect Journalists, 2 deadly attacks on journalists were reported in 2020, 5 murders in 2019, just because they reported against the government handlings. A 206 law banned the dowry related harassments. However, report indicates that enforcement is very slow. So at last I want to conclude, we may be independent, but we are not free from the slavery of poverty and all those things. We are most youthful and unemployed countries in the world. We don't know what democracy and law is. It's a high time we step out and know about rules and regulations. And this Independence Day, let's join hand and let promise to do something for our nation. I, Sanyukta, Karan, thank you all of you for being a patient listener.